Whoa, back away, mate, back away.
Hello everyone, so for today's video we're going to look at preemptive striking. So we're going to show you 2 effective preemptive strikes that you can use. We're going to talk about how to use them, we're going to talk about how to target them, and we're going to show you how to train them on the pads as well with a friend if you have access to a set of pads. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you my favourite tip for effective preemptive striking. It was explained to me by my old self-defense instructor, who's a very good, very close friend of mine. I think you'll really like it and you'll find it really useful and simple to use. So just to quickly explain to you what preemptive striking actually is, if you reasonably believe that somebody is a threat to you and poses you imminent danger, you're well within your right to strike first. The principles of preemptive striking are to strike first, strike hard, and escape as quickly as you possibly can. And with preemptive striking, you're looking to disable the attacker, even if only temporarily, just to buy you some time to escape. Okay, so the first preemptive strike that we're going to look at is the palm strike. The reason we like the palm strike is because we can use it from the fence position. So in previous videos we talked about the fence position. Essentially it's a self-defense position that shows the attacker that you don't want to engage whilst also keeping them at a safe distance. We can utilise the palm strike from this position really easily with open hands. The benefit of using open hands to strike is that we're showing CCTV cameras, we're showing potential passers-by and observers that we do not want to engage with the attacker, we don't want violence. It's a lot easier to justify your actions if you use open-handed strikes than if you're seen by CCTV cameras with your fist clenched, giving somebody an absolute hammering. So when we're using palm strikes, we're going to strike with what we call the palm heel, which is the meaty part of our hand here. What we do with our fingers doesn't really matter. We can either keep them tucked in or we can keep them straight. As long as we keep our thumb nice and tight to the rest of our fingers. If we leave it loose and we potentially miss, we could end up snapping our thumb. So we're going to keep our thumb nice and tight. When we're striking, we can strike straight to the face, into the nose, bang. If the guy's a bit taller, we could come up and strike up at the chin. Or potentially we could use a hooking motion and we could strike into the temple. We could strike behind the ear, or we could strike into the neck. So one of the drills that we can do on the pads, we'll demonstrate. So if we start in the fence position here, as soon as Raoul enters my distance, he brings up the pad, and I strike. Okay? And again. Straight back. And again. Another, if you want to practice with the hook, is if you hold it in a hooking way, as soon as you come in, enter my distance, and again. Here. So the next preemptive strike we're going to look at is the groin kick. It wouldn't be a self-defense video without a kick to the nuts. We really like the groin kick. It's highly effective, highly damaging. You can throw it without compromising your guard. You can throw it without compromising your fence. So you can throw it, bang, straight from this position while maintaining a safe distance away from the attacker. What you can also do is you can throw it by disguising it with a jab to the eyes, for example, or even off the lead foot, bang. So you can disguise the fact that you're going to throw it as well. If you're going to train this with a partner, make sure they've got a groin guard on. It sounds like that. We can use either our foot here. The good thing about using our foot is that it's very quick. We can quite easily snap our foot out and bring it back. The other way of doing it is using a shin, so we can come straight through. What you're going to find with using the shin is it's a lot more damaging, but actually it only works if the attacker is standing in like a John Wayne type position with their legs wide open. So you might find that it's easier to just, whatever position they're in, bam, just use your foot. So when we're looking at training that technique on the pads, there's a number of ways we can do it. We can just focus solely on the groin kick. So Raoul will put 2 pads on top of each other to support them and stop me from hitting him actually in the groin, and just snap the kick out. Just snap the kick out. You can see I'm using my foot there. If I want to use my shin, all Raoul's going to do is just step a little bit further back. So if you just lean back, bring your hands forward, and then I can drive in with my shin without hitting him in the groin. And another way you can practice is by using the eye gouge first. So you could throw out a strike, bang, nearly out, isn't it? You could throw a strike to the eyes, bang, or off the lead foot even, bang, bang, like that. maintaining that distance as well. Here, back and away. If you want to put together all the strikes that we've looked at today, you could throw 2 palm strikes followed by a groin kick. A bit quicker. Yep. Yeah. Oh!
That's a rubber.
Folks, the benefits of wearing a groin guard. And I said at the start that I'd give you a bonus tip that was shared with me with my old self-defense instructor around how to set up an effective preemptive strike. The best tip that I've ever heard is to ask the attacker a question. It sounds really weird. By asking a question to the attacker, it puts them on the back foot. It gets the cogs whirring in their head and it gives you an opportunity, buys you a little bit of time to strike. An example of a question could be, why can't we talk about this? The use of the word why is an open question and it gets the attacker to actually think about the response. And while they're thinking about that response, that's when you can preemptively strike and escape. A really good thing to do is to practice this when you're in a pad session. So when we were doing the pads like we were just then, practice asking a question before you strike. So you may say, why can't we talk about this? Bang, bang. What you don't want to do is bang, bang. Why can't we talk about this? Or, why can't we talk about this? It has to be, why can't we talk about this? Bang, bang. Give them an opportunity to actually think, why is this guy asking me a question? And at that point, strike. Well, back away, listen, why can't we talk about this? Okay, so I just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone that's watched the video, liked and commented so far, and I want to give an extra big thank you to everybody that's subscribed. It really means everything to me. I get really excited every time I see a new subscriber. It makes my day. So if you have seen the video, you've liked it, and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you take the opportunity just to subscribe. It's a very quick thing that you can do, but it really means a lot to me. Next video we're going to look at elbow striking and how we can use the elbow both to strike preemptively and also from a counter striking position. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you subscribe, and for any more self-defense content. Thanks everyone.